Hey guys, this is Kesa, and I am back with another chit chat session. As you know, my channel is not just about DIYs or teaching you how to do lives, but it's actually a channel that I discuss real business issues and problems and just life lessons and things that will catapult you in your business or in your life. So today, I want to talk about return on investment. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with that term, but whether it's in stocks or whether it's just in life or whatever you plant into or sow into, it basically means a gain. A gain on the initial cost of doing business or the initial down payment. And think about it in the terms of like when you buy a home. You may have bought the home initially for $325,000. But as time accrues and your value goes up in your property, you may be building something on it. You may have added a fence or two or, electrical wiring update or whatever. When they come back out to reappraise your home is no longer the value at which you paid for. It actually is more. That is an example of gain over the original cost. So now your house is worth $625,000, whereas your initial investment was $325,000. So now if you decided, okay, I don't want to live here anymore, you can sell your house for that $625,000 because you have now gained over the initial payment. The same thing in life, the same thing in regards to relationships, the same thing in regards to your business. I was having a conversation with my cousin today, and the conversation was this, and exactly went like this. We were talking about a relative, and we were saying that sometimes we have to stop investing in individuals that we know we're not going to get a return on investment. And what I mean by that, do I mean that, oh, we should, just invest in people just so we can get a return? I'm not talking about a financial return. I'm talking about, respect, human decency, or just, kindness. And so when you sow into people's lives, you're not expecting them to be able to pay you back, but you do expect that they will be in a position to pay it forward, to give out what they have been given. That's a gain from your initial investment. That's how I look at it as. I look at it as if I invest in you today, that investment that I initially placed in you at some point is going to be a gain. It may not be a, financial gain to me, but it might be to somebody else, and it's still a gain, it's still a win. And I said, sometimes we have people, places, things, jobs that are not a return on our investment. They become a leech. They become vampires that suck your energy. They're time wasters. They're time fillers. Busy just to be busy. And they have no sign of being something that is going to be worth the time you have invested in it. So a lot of times we invest in things and jobs and whatever else in life, and there's not going to be any type of yield. There's not going to be a return on your initial investment. Maybe somewhere else down the line, maybe. And I thought about sometimes we have to make decisions that if what we're investing in is not yielding that return that we want, maybe it's time for us to pull out of that and do something else. So how does this have anything to do with business? I'll tell you how it has to, because sometimes in our businesses, we make decisions to plant in a particular garden or a particular field, and that field is no longer yielding the way you want it to. Not to say it's not yielding something. It is yielding some type of earning or some type of, gain, but it's not doing what you want it to do. That is the time that you have to sit back and look at whether or not you need to keep putting all of your investment in that one field. You heard of the saying that says, never put all of your eggs in one basket. Well, one reason why you don't put all of your eggs in one basket, because eggs, if you keep, putting them all together, they will crack eventually. And then you won't get nothing out of the eggs. So you need to spread them out. That's why there's a separation between the eggs. Because eggs that are lumped together, they usually break, they crack. And so then the yolk, all the yolk and everything else that comes out of it, the egg white, is no longer good anymore. It's just wasted. So that's why they have these cartons where they have these separate individual packages where you can put the egg in one section after another section. They usually come in about 12 or 24, and they don't break normally. So what I'm saying is that at some point we need to begin to branch out and start putting our businesses into fertile ground. Start putting our businesses into other ground other than one ground. Why put it into one ground when you can put it into many grounds? But you also need to make sure that whatever that soil that you are planning your investment in, you're planning your money into, that is going to bring you that yield, that return that you're looking for. And I was also telling my cousin, I said, I'm having to take a look at my business practices. I'm taking a look at what I need to be doing differently. And if I'm not where I want to, and if I'm at a deficit, or I'm deficient or devoid in my business, is it because I'm continuing to plant in a field that is no longer yielding or able to yield what I'm looking for? So that means, do I need to now navigate to the field of YouTube or TikTok or Twitter? Do I need to branch out into the deep? Because what I realize is that in shallow water, you're not going to get a return. But if you launch out into the deep, if you go out into the deep, those are where the great miracles lie. Those are where the fish are, in the deep. You can't just continue to be in the pond and think that you're going to get all this great return and all this, your business is going to be sufficient, because it isn't. So I'm appealing to all business owners today. What is it that you can do differently? If you're not seeing your business grow the way you want it to, could it be the ground that you once sold into, that once gave you a yield, maybe it's drying up? Or maybe the season is past for that. Maybe it's time for you to pivot and go into another place. The marketplace is filled with different places to sell your items. Sometimes we just get so comfortable at doing one thing because it's easy. It's no brainer. But sometimes it being a no brainer doesn't yield the success that you are looking for. And I've been thinking about this. I've been, laboring over this, just having conversations with different people and talking about how you want to grow. Well, sometimes you can't grow where you are, and sometimes you can, but sometimes that doesn't mean that you have to give up the field that you're in. It just means that you may need to go to other fields. Maybe that time in this field, maybe it needs to rest. Think about this as well. The reason why a lot of fruits and vegetables and things that are coming up now sometimes don't taste that great is because they didn't let the ground that they planted it in rest. Every 7 years, you are supposed to till the ground and rest the ground. That's why you're supposed to have all these other different fields that you can literally plant in, so that because you can't plant in this field, you're not going to lose out. So again, I talk about having different incomes or wealth streams of wealth. And I talk about that. These are fields. These are places that we need to start planning into. We can't be afraid. If you fail, you fail. So what? Get up and do it again. If you really are in this thing and you really want to be an entrepreneur, you really want to be the person that you want to be, if you really want to thrive, you have to learn how to let certain people in your life rest, because it may not be the season for them now. They may need to sit on the side and just rest over there. And you go over here. I think about $1.25 stores. And I think about high-end stores. And they're all successful. But what I realize is that the $1.25 stores or the 99-cent stores, they're actually the overflow stores. They can sell it at a cost. They can sell it at a lesser price because they've already made their money on it. They made their money in Target. They made their money in JCPenney's. They made their money, in Walmart. They made their money online and Amazon and every other place. They've made their money. So now they're saying, okay, I have an abundance. I have something left over. I can now go ahead and go into this lower level field, and I can just put stuff in the lower level field and I can still increase. But I don't have to stress really, because I've already made my money off of my investment. I've already got a gain. And these are the things I'm thinking about. And it may sound like gibberish. It may sound weird or whatever, but this has really been on my mind lately. Like, Casey, if you really want to grow your business, if you really want things to be different in your business, you got to think differently. You got to come up with different strategies. You got to come up with different places to sell. You can't just put your eggs in one basket. So I'm talking to all the people out here that are dreaming big for your business. Think about the field you're in right now. And think about whether it's yielding what you want it to yield. And if it's not, I encourage you to go and re-strategize. Go back to the drawing board if you need to, and come up with a plan. I'll see you in the next video.